my name is Kareli and I read 5 books in the month of January. My goal for the whole year really is at least 50 books or more if I can read more or have the time or brain capacity to read more, but that's the goal, 50 for the whole year. Before we begin, I do want to go over my rating system a little bit. If it was meh and I didn't really like it, that's 1 or 2 stars, right? So if I tell you it was meh, it was alright, 1 or 2 stars. If I tell you I liked it, it's 3 to 4 stars. Okay. If I tell you I love it, that's 5 to 6 stars. 6 obviously being like
best book I've ever read my whole entire life, changed my life, whatever.
That's my rating system. So let's get into it. So like I mentioned, I read 5 books in the month of January. So I'm gonna give you a little what they're about without trying to spoil it for you because I really don't want to spoil it. I did write some stuff down just because my brain is mush and sometimes I forget. Like I'm really bad with names, so I'm not gonna give you any names because I honestly couldn't tell you right now. Anyways, so the first book that I finished in January was The Tenant. It is a thriller, suspense, twist book. I feel like all Frida books are like,
what is going on? And then at the end it kind of like makes sense. What's going on,
right? So it starts off with a man that loses his job. So he and his fiance have to get a tenant for one of their rooms in their home to cover the cost of living, right? And then a bunch of batshit crazy shit happens to him, and he's literally going like, am I going crazy? And he kind of was, and there's a few twists at the end, and I don't want to spoil it as far as that goes. But I did rate it. I liked it. So that's like 3 stars, okay? I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a pretty good book to read. So the next book I read was The Wolf King. This is a romantasy. I loved it. So this is 5 stars for me. I really enjoyed it. It was about a princess in the beginning, and she gets kidnapped by a werewolf man, and she is taken to, I think it was the north, where the Wolf King is, to present to him in order to use her in some way of a leverage to get something that they want that's gonna break the wolf curse. Because they can't shift whenever they want. They can only shift during the full moon. So they're trying to break that, right? So she's basically being used for that. But the man that takes her, she like kind of likes him, you know? So there's that. It is kind of spicy. And yeah, it obviously ends in a cliffhanger, hence book 2, hence why I started reading it right after. So I did finish The Night Prince. In The Night Prince, there's another man involved. She learns more about herself and her family and her background and her mother, and obviously there's a third guy that you're like, I see it, you know? He's like the bad boy, you know? So that one I really liked. I think I liked it more than The Wolf King. And so maybe 5.5 stars, almost a 6 for me. But I'm ready for book 3. So I don't know when that's coming out. I finished Brimstone. Brimstone I started in December. Honestly, I did it in audiobook. And I should have read it physically. I feel like I would have gotten more out of it. I will read it before the 3rd book comes out, like physical format. 'Cause again, I just listened to it. It kind of just, there was a lot of information, and I was kind of like, what's going on? But I did like it for what it's worth. I feel like it was a filler episode, and you're kind of getting all this information that's not going to make sense until the next book kind of thing. So maybe I shouldn't have listened to it, but that's okay because I feel like I will read it and maybe enjoy it more because Quicksilver loved. So think about it. Loved it. Like, I don't know. I went a different way, which still romance. I read a lot of romance if you can't tell already, but I went dark romance this time. I will say if you're reading dark romance, or if you've never read dark romance before, you need to read the trigger warnings. I do not read the trigger warnings. I go blindly in. Like, I read the summary and I'm like, I'm in, surprise me, and it did. So it's about this girl. She lives in this world where the church controls everything, absolutely everything, which is very scary because of the time that we live in right now, that we're living in. That would be scary as hell. I'm not religious, so if you are religious, this is not the book for you, okay? Because yeah. So she's been locked away in this bell tower in a church all her life, and she has no contact to the outside world besides the man that's kept her there, which is her stepfather and the main father priest of this church university that she's stuck in, but like she's not actually in the university because she doesn't have any contact with anybody. So it's kind of like, what's going on? And then these three men they enter the university and they have a lot of monies, and they say, I want that church over there. And then they start living downstairs where she's up in the bell tower, and then that's how they meet her, because they're like, what is he hiding? Because he's obviously because they're there to find dirt on this man, this priest guy. And so they're trying to figure out what he's hiding. Turns out he's hiding her from the world for various reasons, but obviously it's a dark romance. There's a lot of smut in here. It's a white choose, so they're all together with her. So she ain't gotta choose. She got all three of them. Doesn't sound so bad to me. I actually really enjoyed this book. I liked it, so I give it a 4. And yeah, that's it. But yeah, read the trigger warnings on that one. Yeah, those are all the 5 books I read. There are a few books that I started. Let me see. I wrote them down because I knew I was gonna forget. Hold on. That I started in January or even before then that I have not finished. My goal maybe this month is to actually finish some of these: Eternal Ruin, Tethered, Flamefall, Forged by Malice. Some of these are physical, some of these are on my KU that I've just, I don't know, maybe I have ADHD for reals, and I just start a bunch of books until one of them just like clicks, and then I finish that one really fast because I get obsessed. But I don't know. I try to make these monthly once at the end of the month, just to go over. Maybe go like in full depth once I finish a series, because I do want to start a few more series, and maybe I'll get my thoughts together for that. But for now, this will do. Thanks, bye.